Tales Fantasy. You're So Ugly When You Cry, Chapter 4. Are you laughing at me? Banna demanded. I've never seen you laugh before. I think I am. I laughed. Sorry. I laughed again. Her grip on my wrist lessened, though she didn't let go entirely. What made you decide to stop ignoring me? A curl of wind rustled her vibrant hair, displaying each and every color stitched together to make the red. I swallowed, and then I selfishly used honesty, going so far as to look her in the eyes as I said, I just wanted to see you one last time. Oh yeah? Her voice went high, but it came out thin. And when I wanted to see you, you wouldn't give me the time of day. I never expected you to get over yourself. So spit it out. What are you planning? She knew. Her hooded eyes could see right through me. But how? How is that possible? Sunny? I looked away, openly tugging at my wrist by this point. I had to get away. I didn't know anything other than escape at this moment. I didn't know why, I didn't know how, and I didn't know where. She could see it, and I needed to hide. Something wormed in my stomach, like I had eaten too many acidic fruits. The sensation was sharp. Was I about to throw up? I couldn't do that either, not here, so I must get away. If you'll excuse me. But Banna doubled down. She grabbed my wrist with both hands now, yanking me off kilter, floundering up the hill. My chin struck her shoulder, and I instinctively reached out to grab her, squashing her between my arms. I lost my breath, so when I, unfortunately, breathed back in, it was her scent and faint pheromone aroma that assaulted me. This was a nightmare. She was in my lungs. She smelled like warmth personified, like her family's bread shop, the savory herb and garlic twists and melted cheese baguettes. It was the scent of baked dough, crisped over the oven's ashes, something stone and flame and salt. I choked, but I didn't let go of her. Tears stung my eyes as I held everything inside. Alphas always got away with whatever they wanted, claiming it was natural. And maybe it was natural to lose their minds over a scent that called to them. Maybe we were all just carnal heat who knew nothing other than satisfying our own desires. Maybe we were all born monsters, and omegas were born victims. There were alphas like my mother, who used her pheromones to intimidate. I'd never seen the Alphess lose it over some omega, neither my father nor Roni's. Some were unaffected by the amorous pull of their instincts. Some had honed their pheromones like a battering ram, using it to threaten and confuse and dazzle their enemies. But there were other alphas who gave in each time they got a whiff of an omega's pheromones. The only omegas I had gotten close enough to smell were Roni and his friends, mere babies in need of protection. I had never felt any urge or pull or desire to conquer any one of them. This was the first time I had ever been drenched in another's pheromones, and it was as horrible as I had always feared. My heart sped, globbing thick beats in my chest, slowing down each and every second. The scent traveled all throughout my brain until my vision created a haze. Strangely, the color reminded me of that green dress Banna Vendetta had worn when we'd first spoken to one another. Let go. Let go. Just let go. My chin tucked into her neck, and my nose accidentally brushed against the delicate hairs climbing there. These ones hadn't been burned straight. I lost feeling in my legs, and we plummeted. Somehow, I had the presence of mind to tuck her skirt beneath her legs, sitting her onto my thighs. Even if it was a nightgown, it would be difficult to remove the grass stains. Banna's arms circled my shoulders. The thick gloss of her nails pulled at my hair, tingling all the way up my scalp, numbing everything. I squeezed my eyes shut, trying to convince myself everything was fine. I had not assaulted anyone. I could still save this. I didn't have to be a monster. Just let go. Let go. She's literally wearing her wedding dress. She just signed a marriage certificate not 10 minutes ago. Let go. You like me this much, but you still left me, Banna said, using a weirdly gentle voice that made my skin break out in goosebumps. Should we just run away together? My eyes flew open. Something strangled escaped my throat. Banna's eyes swallowed every last trace of my voice. They were most likely brown. I had had that thought before. Most likely brown, but then why were they lit up, as if burning from within? You just married. With a twisty pout, she allowed me to breathe. Tipping her chin back, the snare released me. I felt a great heave of breath fill my chest. Okay, I understand. You came at the worst time, you know that? She huffed, crossing her arms over her chest and covering half of what the neckline didn't. Let me make this clear. Today was an act. Trudy's my friend. Her family's worked for mine for generations. That's all it is. The documents aren't even real. Was it possible to hallucinate someone's words because they were what you wanted to hear? Who wouldn't want their person to stage a fake marriage? But that wasn't realistic. It's all right, I said. I showed up unannounced. It's my fault that you've been rattled like so, but your wife would be very sad to hear this sort of talk from you, even if you don't mean it. No, Sunifred. The soft pink shine of her nails dug into my suit jacket. Shoulder padding was affixed between us, but her touch still sent a spiral of skitters that chased one another from my shoulder to the sides of my neck and disappeared deep within my hair. My vision still felt woozy from its submergence deep within her pheromones. This horrible feeling wasn't over yet. I slipped out from beneath her hands, but it caused her to unbalance. Her heels stuck to the hill, wedged beneath the thin layer of grass. Before she could hit her knees, she pulled herself upright by my jacket, but the heels were so stuck, her feet started coming out of them. Once the first one popped free, she shoved into my arms like a missile of gravity. At this angle, I feared my head would splatter on the sidewalk's path. But what was the alternative? Letting Banna fall face first? I squeezed my eyes shut. My hands found her waist. Without all the layers, I felt like I was holding a silk pillow. If I used any more pressure, I would indent her with my grip. I would hurt her. Right as we landed, I felt something cup the back of my head, and then we skidded down the rest of the way, tumbling sideways away from each other. I hadn't held on tight enough then, even though I'd feared the worst. My head hadn't slammed directly against the ground, but I felt the back of it to make sure. Propped on an elbow, I faced Banna just as she rolled to face me. If this concrete was a bed, this is what it would feel like to share it with her. I'd often heard alpha desires described as an itch. An itch to sate, to scratch off, checked done, and on to the next thing. I had never felt itchy when I was with Banna. Lost, confused perhaps, as if the ground was no longer where the ground was. As the first Omega outside of Roni and his friends I'd interacted with, I'd been forced to confront the truth about myself. I was a hypocrite. I was my mother, but worse, because I didn't think I was. Too angry that the rules had been laid out for me, I forgot that I was a person. I had a will. I couldn't change the world, no, but I could change myself. Banna had dragged me forward. I didn't offer her my hand. She took it for herself. None of that was an itch. One day, nearly 2 years after I'd cowardly walked away from her, I was still deluding myself that we weren't meant to be friends, that we were too different. She, a ruined noble, who could never understand that there was no such thing as choice. Even now, my only choice was the one that it was said only cowards pursued. The only way to beat the dragon in the story was to die, and die well enough that not even the corpse may be of use to its monstrous purposes. My plan started 3 days after I turned 17. Why? The alpha in me awoke, some being I could feel beneath each and every surface of my skin, a beast pounding against the walls of its cage, daring me to let it out. Sleep stopped entirely. Haze-filled dreams that lingered in my nose when I awoke to find myself not in my bed. Sometimes I was asleep on a garden bench. Others I was in town, leaning against a wall. One time, I had even woken up, submerged beneath our neighbor's lake. How had I not died? But if it was only sleep, then I could chain myself to my bed and be done with it. I could pass a life in high society like that. Oh, how naive.